Hi everybody. I thought that I would take this opportunity to walk you through a couple of tips when you're painting. I've been seeing some fantastic, beautiful creations come through the door, especially lately, like absolutely gorgeous. But I am finding that I hear the same thing over and over again. Seems to be like a lack of confidence in the solidity in the brush stroke and that kind of thing, and you guys just don't feel very confident about it. Not having the studio, I can't just be there beside you to walk you through it. So I thought this would be just a quick little lesson to show you guys how easy it really is, okay? So just a reminder, when you get your pottery, please read all of the instructions before you touch any of the pottery. Super important. Clean hands, no food near or around the pottery. Oils from lotions and foods, etc. can keep the paint from sticking, and you might not see that on the pottery itself, but that'll definitely happen in the kiln, so keep that in mind, okay? Don't forget to take your sponge, put it in water, get all the water out, and then just lightly dust it all over, inside out, the whole thing. A reminder too, when you're painting a food safe item, I want to enjoy drinking out of this mug for a great many years. I'm going to have to paint every part of that. That includes the bottom. So don't forget, super, super important, okay? Just trust me. Don't forget the inside. And 3 coats. If I do 1 coat, it's going to be quite transparent. It's really not going to stay very food safe for very long, even with my glaze, okay? 2 coats, definitely better. Going to definitely last longer, but you're still going to see brush strokes, okay? So now that the 2nd coat is dried, I will do a 3rd coat. And the 3rd coat seals the deal, baby. Should be nice and solid when it comes out of the kiln. But here's the key, okay? So I'm going to show you this. So you'll take your bottle of paint, shake, shake, shake. Very, very important, okay? When you are using one of the palettes, if you get a plastic palette, they've got the larger holes. Great, no problem for all over. Remember, you need very little for detail work. So this is really my favorite palette, just to ensure that there isn't waste. But in this case, I'm covering this whole mug in this gray. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the flat part of my palette, utilize the space. Okay, if you get a fan brush, so for adults, you'll use a fan brush. I will never give this for kids. It's just too particular and they tend to kind of mash, and it's a very expensive brush. Okay, I'm going to take my fan brush, and I'm going to go into my paint, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to load that brush front and back from the tip to the tail, okay? You don't need to go up into the handle or anything, just from the tip to the tail. It's not dripping, it's just loaded. Then you're gonna notice, I'm gonna paint this thing from the top to the bottom, okay? I don't know if you guys can see that well enough or not. Move my brush. Okay, top to the bottom. What happens is if I go this way, that's fine, but what tends to happen is more often than not, A, you're going to see those brush strokes, and B, it's not necessarily going in the direction of the mug, okay? Pick a direction, but I do find up top to bottom is the best way to go, nice and easy, okay? So you'll do that first coat, and by the time you're done getting all the way around, the first coat's already dry, and you'll be able to do a 2nd coat. Okay, so that's my advice for how you're doing this, okay? Your brush strokes should feel like butter, okay? Like smooth, silky butter, okay? Nice and long. Now, you're going to notice I'm not doing this, okay? You want long, smooth strokes. The longer the stroke is, and it should be smooth and silky, shouldn't sound scrapey, shouldn't be so thick that I can see ripples in my paint, okay? Just nice and smooth, top to bottom, okay? When I do my 2nd coat, it's the same thing. When I do my 3rd coat, it's the same thing. So super, super easy. Just follow the rule, trust the process, and be patient, okay? Now, you're going to notice something. I'm holding the handle. The trick to that is I'm going to do all my coats. After I do my first coat on the outside, while that's drying, I'm going to do my first coat on the inside. Let's talk about the inside. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to load my brush, right, top to bottom, and I'm going to lay that sucker on the bottom and just do like a little turny, okay? And like, look at that. Look how easy that is. Ta-da! Okay? Okay, so I've gone all the way around. Same process. Should feel smooth and silky, not scratchy scrapey, okay? Then same aspect. I'm loading my brush. I love this fan brush. And from the bottom up, I'm going to come up from the bottom up. Now you're going to notice I'm not going around, okay? I'm following the process bottom to top, nice and easy. It should feel like butter. And if I do that all the way around, I'm less likely to get brush strokes. Should look nice and smooth, okay? Right now you can't see because it's not finished. I don't want to spend, you know, an hour doing this with you. The video won't let me post. Haha. Okay, now, same brush. Loading just the tip. When I go to do my lip here, I don't want to load it because if it's too thick and I don't let it dry between, what happens is air will get trapped in there. If it doesn't dry properly between the layers anywhere on the mug, and it will let go of the paint in the kiln. Might look great to you. Ooh, fully covered, nice and thick. The thicker, the better. No. Smooth, 3 coats, okay? So I'm going to take my brush. Now, if this was a different color than the inside, whatever color I want the lip to be, I'm going to start from that side. So in this case, I'm doing gray. Let's say the inside was dark blue. From the outside, I'm going to come around and just, do you see how I'm doing that? I'm literally just kind of brushing it gently all the way around. And then because I have that color from the outside in, I can smooth that out all the way around, okay, before I do my next coat, okay? Nice and beautiful. All right, if I'm doing the inside, same premise, right? Load my tip, not too heavy, and then from the inside out, I'm going to do the same thing, go all the way around, and then use the lip that I'm finding, like that first bunch of paint that's on the inside, and I'm going to smooth it all out, okay? Easy peasy, easy peasy. Okay, now, don't forget the bottom 3 times, follow a process, okay? The last thing I'm going to do is my handle. So I'm going to put my mug down, everything's painted. I like to sit it on a baker's rack. I'm just going to put this up a little bit so maybe you guys can see this. Okay, I don't know if you noticed or not, but I kind of did 2 coats and it's already dry enough for me to touch this mug, okay? That's because I didn't go too thick. I'm going nice and smooth, like butter, as I said. Okay, when I go to do the handle, am I using the fan brush? No. I prefer the round brush for that. You could use a flatter brush, and this is the brush that kids would use to do their mug. It's going to be gorgeous because the kid did it, right? There you go. Okay, so I'm going to take my brush, and I'm going to load it up again, okay? When I go to do my handle, if my mug is too wet, because I've done 3 coats now, it's going to be too wet to dry, to touch, sorry. Just going to lift this up a little bit so you guys can actually see the mug a bit better. Okay, so let's just pretend I'm not holding the mug, okay? What you want to be able to do is get along the outside, and when I go to do the inside, if I can touch my mug when I do it, great, because then I can see all the nooks and crannies, right? So you can move it and get into it, and isn't that nice and easy? Okay, but if I can't, I'll do the best I can with it sitting down. Again, smooth, lovely strokes, okay? And then I want to check, did I miss anything on the inside, etc. Don't go thick on the handle. You don't need to. Same process will go for the handle as the rest of the mug. Smooth and silky strokes, okay? Just hear me in your head. Smooth like a butter, okay? All right. That's, you know, basically it. I want to tell you about the detail brush that you get. A lot of times you guys want to do details and you think you need a detailer. There isn't always enough detailers to go around. Super simple, same premise, okay? Shake your black that you always get in every kit. Give yourself a drop. That is really all you need. I'm going to take my detail brush and I'm going to dip the tip into my paint, okay? And then I'm just going to use that on the edge of my palette, and I'm going to twist my brush so that I get a nice sharp point, no fuzzies hanging out. I've created the point that I need. Now I can re-dip in case I need a little bit more on my brush now that I smoothed it out. And I can go and I can do little details like writing on my mug. Be patient. I want you to think of this like a fountain pen. And what I mean by that is like the old pen that you had to like dip in ink and then write with. You have to continuously, you'll make a few strokes and then you've got to like dip again, right? Try not to create entire letters at a time. Be very gentle when you're detailing. Don't push hard. Be very feather light. Let the paint do the work. And if the paint is too thick, you'll know because it won't move much. If you need to add a drop of water to what's in your palette, do that. Play with it a little bit before you commit it to the pottery. You can do that on your palette. You can do that on a piece of paper towel. Practice, practice, practice. Build that confidence up, okay? So that's basically it. That's all. That's everything. And like I'm at 11 minutes and this might not even work. So I'm going to give it a shot, okay? Hope you guys are well. I miss you so much. If you have questions about anything, anytime, post it on the page. Send me a message. I love when you guys have technical questions and you post it on the page because then I can answer on the page and everybody can get involved in that conversation, okay? If it's private, send me a private message. That's all good. We're all in this together. I totally get it. And it's fun to create. Thank you so much for supporting my business, especially at this time. It means a lot. And like I said, I miss you guys. Don't give up on me, okay? I'll talk to you soon. Bye.